The problem statement in question 6 says the diagonal AC of a parallelogram ABCD bisects angle A. So the angle at A is bisected by the diagonal AC. So these two angles are equal. We have to show that the diagonal will also bisect angle C. So the two angles formed at C will also be equal. And we have to show that ABCD is a rhombus. So these are the two things that we have to show. Now, before I write out the solution, I want to help you visualize this situation better. I want to help you visualize that in a parallelogram, if a diagonal bisects one angle, then that parallelogram is a rhombus. So let me show you a simulation to that effect, and then we will write out the solution to this problem. So in this simulation here, you see a parallelogram ABCD, and I have shown the angles formed by one of the diagonals BD at one of the vertices D. So you can see that the two angles are right now unequal. And as long as these two angles are unequal, we can see that this parallelogram is not a rhombus. But now let me move one of the vertices and try and get these two angles to become equal. And then I want you to visualize how this parallelogram becomes closer and closer to a rhombus. So I'm going to try and get both these angles to become equal. So let's say roughly at this configuration. Now you can see that the two angles here are equal, and you can now compare the side lengths. The side lengths are very close to each other. Okay, so once again summarizing, if the angles formed, if the two parts of the angle are not equal, then ABCD is not a rhombus. But if they are equal, no matter what their size is, but as long as they are equal, like this for example, then the parallelogram is a rhombus. So this is what we are going to show in the current problem. So let's start with part 1, where we have to show that AC, because it bisects angle A, we have to show that it bisects angle C as well. So I'm going to number the angles so that it's easier for us to write out the proof. So let's call these angles 1 and 2. And let's call the angles formed at C as angle 3 and angle 4. Okay, now we have angle 1 is equal to angle 2. This is basically given to us because AC bisects the angle at A. So angle 1 is equal to angle 2. Also angle 1 is equal to angle not 3 but angle 4. So this angle 1 is equal to angle 4 because these are alternate interior angles with the parallels AB and BC and this transversal AC. So angle 1 is equal to angle 4, and the reason is because these are alternate interior angles. And similarly, angle 2 is equal to angle 3 because these are also alternate interior angles for the parallels AB and DC. Okay, so let's write this as well. Angle 2 is equal to angle 3 once again because of the same reason. Now we have angle 1 is equal to angle 2, but angle 1 is also equal to angle 4 and angle 2 is also equal to angle 3, and because these two are equal, we can conclude that angle 4 and angle 3 are also equal. So from these equalities we conclude that angle 3 is equal to angle 4, and this means that AC bisects angle C as well. Okay, that proves part 1 of the question. Now let's do part 2, where we have to show that ABCD is a rhombus. Now for that purpose, it's enough to show that any two adjacent sides of the parallelogram are equal. For example, let's consider sides AB and BC. If we show that these two sides are equal, then we are done, because if adjacent sides in a parallelogram are equal, then the parallelogram is a rhombus. Okay, now we have angle 1 is equal to angle 4 and angle 2 is equal to angle 3, and angle 1 is also equal to angle 2. So basically all the four angles are equal, and in particular this means that angle 2 and angle 4 are equal to each other. So let's write this out. So from part 1 we have angle 2 is equal to angle 4, and this means that because these two angles are equal, the sides opposite to them in triangle ABC must also be equal. So the side opposite angle 2 is BC this side here, and the side opposite angle 4 is AB this side here. So BC is equal to AB, and the reason is that sides opposite equal angles are equal, right? And now because BC and AB are equal, we have shown that two adjacent sides in the parallelogram ABCD are equal. This means that ABCD must be a rhombus. So that completes our proof to part 2, and with this question bisects angle A as well as angle C, and the diagonal BD bisects angle B as well as angle D. So let's draw a figure for this situation, for this problem. So in this figure that I've drawn, ABCD is a rhombus, and what we have to show is that the diagonals AC and BD bisect the corresponding angles. So for example, AC bisects the angle at A, so these two angles should be equal, and AC also bisects the angle at C, so these two angles here should also be equal, and so on. So this is what we have to prove. Now I will show that the two parts of the angle at A are equal, so this angle and this angle are equal, and then we can similarly show that the angle at B, C and D are also bisected. Alright, now to show that the angle at A is bisected, I am going to compare two triangles. I am going to compare AOB, this triangle, with triangle AOD, this triangle. So these are the two triangles that we are going to compare, and it looks like they are congruent. This is what we will prove, and that will mean that that angles BAO and DAO, the angles that I have marked here, they are equal. Okay, so let's do this comparison. So in triangle AOB and triangle AOD, okay, the AO, this side here, this is common, so we can write AO is equal to AO, common. Now OB and OD are equal, so this OB and OD here, they are equal because a rhombus is a parallelogram, and in any parallelogram the diagonals bisect each other. So we can write OB is equal to OD, and this is because diagonals bisect each other, right? And finally, because ABCD is a rhombus, the adjacent sides of ABCD must also be equal, so AB and AD should also be equal. So we can write AB is equal to AD, and this is because ABCD is a rhombus. So all three corresponding sides of the two triangles are equal, and this means that triangle AOB must be congruent to triangle AOD using the SSS congruence criterion. Okay, so because the two triangles are congruent, if we take this angle here, let me mark it with a different color, this angle here OAD and this angle here OAB, these two angles must be equal by CPCT. So we can write angle OAD must be equal to angle OAB by CPCT, corresponding parts of congruent triangles, and this means that AC bisects angle A because the angle at A is getting divided into two equal parts. So AC bisects angle A. So that shows that AC bisects angle A. We can similarly do the proof for AC bisecting angle C. So to do that, we would have to compare triangle OCD, this triangle, and triangle OCB, this triangle. And by comparing these two triangles and showing them as congruent, we can show that this angle here and this angle here are equal. Similarly, for the angles at B and D, so for example, to show that the angles at B is also being bisected, so ABO and CBO are equal, we could compare triangle OBA and OBC, so the triangle here and the triangle here, and to show that the angle at D is getting bisected, we could compare triangle ODA, this triangle, and ODC. This would show that the angle at D is getting bisected. So it's enough to show that the angle at A is getting bisected, and then we can write that all the other angles can be shown to be similarly bisected, just like angle A. So that is the proof of it. We are given that ABCD is a rectangle in which the diagonal AC bisects angle A as well as angle C. So I've drawn this figure for you in which ABCD is a rectangle and the diagonal AC bisects angle A. It also bisects angle C, but I have not shown that here. And this means that angle BAC and angle DAC are equal. Now we have to show that ABCD is a square. By virtue of the fact that AC bisects angle A as well as angle C, we have to show that ABCD is a square. We also have to show that if we draw the diagonal BD, it will bisect angle B as well as angle D. Now, we had a question similar to this in a previous question of this exercise, in question number 6, where we showed that if the diagonal of a parallelogram bisects an angle of the parallelogram, then that parallelogram is a rhombus. If you want, you can go back and watch the video of that question number 6 of this exercise. But I'm still going to prove this question from scratch once again, so that it's easy for you to follow. Okay, so we are told that the angle at A is bisected, so angle BAC and angle DAC are equal. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and prove that AB and BC are equal, because in a rectangle, if adjacent sides are equal, then that rectangle is a square, and that will help us prove that ABCD is a square. So first, let's compare the angle DAC and the angle here, this angle here, which is angle BCA. So we can say that angle DAC must be equal to angle BCA, because these two angles are alternate interior angles. But we are also told that angle DAC is equal to angle BAC. This is given to us. The angle here DAC and the angle here BAC, they are equal because we are given that AC bisects angle A. So if we compare these two equalities, we have DAC on the left side on both, and we have BCA and BAC. So from here we can conclude that angle BAC is equal to angle BCA, which means that this angle BAC and this angle BCA, they are equal, and hence the sides opposite these angles in triangle ABC should also be equal. So we can say that the side opposite angle BAC is this side BC, and the side opposite angle BCA is this side AB. So we can say that BC is equal to AB, and the reason is that sides opposite equal angles are equal. Okay, so we have proven that BC and AB are equal. So ABCD is a rectangle in which adjacent sides are equal, and this means that ABCD is a square. So this completes the first part of the question, ABCD is a square. Now we have to show that the diagonal BD bisects angle B as well as angle D. So here's the diagonal BD that I've drawn, and we will show that the angle at B gets bisected, and the proof for angle D can be done similarly. So we have to show that the angle, this angle CBD and this angle ABD, they are equal. So the way we can prove this is we can compare this angle CBD with this angle here, which is CDB. These two angles should be equal because in triangle BCD, BC and CD are equal, because we proved in the previous part that ABCD is a square. So all four sides of ABCD are equal. So we can say that in triangle BCD, BC and CD are equal because ABCD is a square, and this means that the angles opposite these sides are also equal. So the angle opposite side BC is this angle CDB. So angle CDB is equal to the angle opposite side CD is this angle, which is angle CBD. So these two angles are equal, and the reason is angles opposite equal sides are equal. Alright, so this is what we have, but we can also say that the angle CDB is equal to angle ABD because these two are alternate interior angles. So let's write this. Angle CDB is also equal to angle ABD, as these two angles are alternate interior angles on the parallels AB and CD. So if we compare these two equalities we have written, we have angle CDB on the left side on both, and we have angle CBD and angle ABD on the right side. So these two must be equal. So we get angle CBD must be equal to angle ABD. And this basically means that this angle CBD and this angle ABD, they are equal. And from here we can now conclude that BD bisects angle B. And similarly we can show that the angle at D is also getting bisected. But if this question comes on an actual test, once you have done the proof for angle B, once you have shown that BD bisects angle B, you can simply write that in a similar way BD will bisect angle D also. Okay, so that completes part 2, and with this we have completed. 9 says, in parallelogram ABCD in the figure 8.20 that you see here, 2 points P and Q are taken on the diagonal BD such that DP is equal to BQ. So P and Q are 2 points on the diagonal BD such that DP, this segment, is equal to BQ, which is this segment here. And now we have to show a bunch of things. So let's start with the first part. In the first part we have to show that triangle APD is congruent to triangle CQB. So let me highlight these two triangles for you. So triangle APD is this triangle APD that you see here, APD, and triangle CQB is CQB, this triangle. So we have to show that these two triangles are congruent. So let's compare the parts of these two triangles. So in triangle APD and triangle CQB, what parts are equal? So well, AD is equal to CB because these two segments are opposite sides of parallelogram ABCD. So let's write this. AD is equal to CB, opposite sides of parallelogram, so they must be equal. Okay, now also DP, this side segment, is equal to BQ. This is already given to us. So DP is equal to BQ, and this is something that's given. And the third pair that is equal is this angle pair ADP, angle ADP and angle CBQ, because these two angles are alternate interior angles on the parallels AD and BC and the transversal BD, the diagonal BD. So we can write angle ADP is equal to angle CBQ, as these angles are alternate interior angles. So from this set of equalities we can conclude that the two triangles are congruent, and because the equal parts are two side pairs and an included angle pair, we can apply the SAS congruence criterion. So we have triangle APD is congruent to triangle CQB by the SAS congruence criterion. So this proves the first part, and now we go to the second part. In the second part we have to show simply that AP is equal to CQ, but that follows obviously because triangle APD and triangle CQB are congruent. This means that AP and CQ must be equal by CPCT. So we can directly write AP is equal to CQ by CPCT. So this proves the first two parts. Triangle APD is congruent to triangle CQB, and AP is equal to CQ. Now let's go to the third part. So in part 3 we have to prove that triangle AQB is congruent to triangle CPD. So let me highlight these two triangles for you once again. So triangle AQB is AQB, this triangle that you see here on the left side, and triangle CPD would be CP and D, this triangle that you see here. And we have to show that these two triangles are congruent. So let's compare these two triangles now. So in triangle AQB and triangle CPD, what are the parts which are equal? So AB is equal to CD because these are opposite sides of the parallelogram ABCD. So AB is equal to CD because these are opposite sides of a parallelogram. Also BQ is equal to DP. This is already given to us. BQ is equal to DP given, and the angle at B, this angle ABQ, and the angle at D, this angle CDP, these two angles are also equal. So angle ABQ is equal to angle CDP because these are alternate interior angles on the parallels AB and CD and the diagonal or the transversal BD. So from this set of equalities, we can once again conclude, similar to the first part, that triangle AQB is congruent to triangle CPD by the SAS congruence criterion. This also means that the third side pair, which is AQ and CP, these are also equal. So this is what we had to prove in part 4. So AQ is equal to CP by corresponding parts of congruent triangles. So this proves part 3 and 4. Finally, for part 5, in which we have to show that APCQ is a parallelogram, all we need to do is observe that in part 2 we proved that AP is equal to CQ. So AP is equal to CQ. We proved that in part 2, and in part 4, the previous part, we proved that AQ is equal to CP. So AQ is equal to CP. So AQCP or APCQ is a quadrilateral in which both pairs of opposite sides are equal, and this means that we can conclude that APCQ is a parallelogram because both pairs of opposite sides are equal, and that proves part 5 as well. So this completes question number